Hello everybody. Welcome back to Big Sister Chats. These 2 weeks are packed with projects, or better said, one project. It's a short movie called OPSIS. I wrote the script in March and now it's finally time. This project fills me with so much dopamine, like real dopamine. And I feel like lately it's really hard to stay present, to stay in the moment. I mean, distractions are literally just one tap away, and dopamine, cheap dopamine, fast dopamine, isn't far. So, this project is a nice change.
It's Monday and I'm going shopping now because on Thursday and Friday my film crew will be here for my first ever short movie. Actually, I'll feel really crazy doing this because as you can see, there's a suitcase there and I'll take this suitcase for going to shopping because I need so many things and I don't know how to get them here because I don't have a car yet and that's a problem. So wish me fun, wish me luck.
Finally waking up inside a void where I can hear the noise of someone similar to you. I'm still a little tired, but I can try to muster up a kind of style that in a way would calm the room. But you can't point me out when I am down and feeling like a pawn inside a game where I don't know the rules. Oh, we're making love and carving out a different road to take away, but I will never make you choose.
I'm currently working on the first draft in Premiere Pro, and that means that soon you will probably even get to see OPSIS. And what is nice is that this is the first time in months that I could actually get lost in a project, which means I was sitting down on Saturday, we were shooting on Thursday and Friday, and then I just had to do something. I really wanted to do anything, just start with some small things, just import all the material and maybe start with some scenes, but also not really. But then I ended up taking 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. I'm not even sure. Time passed by and suddenly it was dark outside and I realized I entered focus state again, which is not something I usually do. Because while I do work on my projects for a longer period of time, let's say 2 hours for my writing project, I never really get 2 hours of writing done without any distractions. Like, the music doesn't fit, and so I'll pick up my phone and change the music, but then I already have my phone in hand, so I might also
check the one message that I got, and it links to Instagram, and then I'm back on Instagram, and there's some DMs, and yeah.
Then I'm out of my habit again. And then I've spent half an hour on my phone, and then I go back to writing, but yeah, distractions come too fast. So I realized that I'm addicted to my phone, which is no news to me, and also no surprise because I work in digital marketing, I have this podcast and this YouTube channel, I used to do a lot of social media, I have my online writing group. There's a lot of screens and screen time in my day-to-day life. But to be honest with you, my screen time is at an all-time high with 5 to 6 hours every day on my phone, and that doesn't even include the time I spend on my laptop and other devices around the house. And it includes, of course, WhatsApp or Spotify, where I do spend 2 hours, let's say, a day on these apps, but still, I personally feel like my screen time is too high and I don't use my phone like I should be using it all the time. So, what do we do about this? What if your screen time is up too? First, the most important task was deleting all the distracting apps. First, I identified what apps are actually addicting to me. I can check Pinterest every 7 days and be fine with that. I'll do it whenever, so it's not really addicting. But Instagram, for example, is addicting to me. whenever I open my phone and I have nothing to do, first thing I subconsciously do is open Instagram. So that app had to go. What I want to do is spend 30 days without any of these addicting apps. And here's why. I did a deep dive on anything that's addiction. So I went down a rabbit hole of YouTube videos and then also podcasts. And I stumbled upon the Huberman Lab, where they talked about addiction and where I got the inspiration for this video. So if you want to do a deep dive, definitely check out the podcast episode. I'll link it down in the description below. But if you do not have the time to watch these 2 hours of content, here are my keynotes. The first question is, why do we even re-download these apps? Why do we keep scrolling even though we know it's a waste of time? And what I learned is that you have a baseline of dopamine. Now, let's say you open Instagram and that dopamine level spikes. If you spend an hour on Instagram and then you close Instagram again, you would think your dopamine levels will reset to 0. But actually, they go the same amount below 0. And then your brain wants to level that out. So it's addicted to another dopamine high. This is because pleasure and pain are actually located in the same area of the brain, which means you can either feel pleasure or pain. And because we, quite frankly, do not like pain, our brain seeks for the dopamine again, the pleasure. So what we do is open the app again, download the app again, scroll again, whatever. To level that out, the brain wants to get back to 0 or above 0, but in the end, it only makes it worse. Because when you fuel your dopamine levels again, you will also crash them again. The next thing I learned is that it gets worse before it gets better. The idea is really to go cold turkey for 30 whole days. And as they explained, the first 10 days will be really shitty. There's a good chance that you'll be grumpy or moody or agitated. I mean, you're just craving this dopamine high, this dopamine level that you're used to. And because your brain does not get it, it makes you feel bad. Of course, this varies from person to person again. But generally speaking, your mood will not be that good. But the good news is that after day 14, they said the sun will come out again. So it will get easier eventually. And the goal is really to make it to that 30-day mark. If you have been engaging in a lot of dopamine rising activities, it might be that your dopamine baseline is not down here, but up here. And so it will take 30 days to reset them again to the baseline, so you can feel joy in other things again more easily. And that's basically the deal. You have to fully restrict yourself for 30 days, and if you can do that, then you beat addiction. Of course, they also spoke a lot about relapsing and why people relapse, and this is where I think it's really interesting to go and watch the full episode. Now, if you also struggle with a high screen time, I would encourage you to watch one of my latest videos where I already talked about how to reduce your screen time. What helped me a lot was the realization that social media is actually not used how I thought it would be. I mean, some part of me already knew this, but I read it somewhere online and it just clicked. Because most YouTubers or influencers or online personalities do have YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and X and all of these apps. We all think we have to be on there too, which isn't true. Because when there's a person who sees your Instagram reel go to watch your YouTube video because of the reel, I mean, that basically never happens. And I personally do not enjoy creating short form content so much, so I want to focus on YouTube and I stopped posting on Instagram. So I also don't need the Instagram app anymore, and that actually is such a huge relief. And now, because I tried to reduce my screen time, there is some more time left in my day, and I try to fill them with more purposeful things like writing or journaling or meditating. And these are things I used to enjoy, but somehow, because of all the dopamine and all the easy ways to get dopamine, nowadays they seem really, really boring. And I'm filming this video 3 days after I quit social media, so it's not easy actually. Everything feels really boring right now. But it's okay, because I really want to do this challenge. And I mean, this is me being real with you. It's not easy. I do crave social media and the easy hits of dopamine, and I find myself grabbing for my phone, but I do try to leave it in another room so I cannot do that. But all in all, I really want to feel good again when I take time to read, for example. Because as said, these are things that I used to enjoy and I want to enjoy them again. I think to me, knowing about dopamine and how it affects my brain is enough for me to try and stay away from my phone as much as possible. So I hope you found some inspiration in this video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who would be interested in this topic, and take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!